So thanks to Michael Copps, the model of a public servant. Terrific guy. So I'm S. Crawford on Twitter, and I wrote Captive Audience because life is short. Get in the way. 100 years ago, electricity was a luxury in America. When FDR entered office, 90% of farmers didn't have electricity. And he took this on, FDR did. He took on the special interests. He made sure that everyone in America had reasonably priced electricity reaching their homes. It took leadership. It wasn't easy. So today, we're treating high-speed internet access the same way. We've deregulated it entirely, and we're reaping what we have sown. A third of Americans don't subscribe, many because of price, 100 million of us, and we're stuck there. If you're poor, less well-educated, or of color, it's much more likely that you don't have a wired internet access connection at your home. 19 million Americans can't get it at any cost. So we've got an enormous digital divide inside our country. Globally, we're also in a hole. We're in the middle of the pack at best. Meanwhile, Japan, South Korea, Taiwan, Sweden, Norway, Estonia, they've all got policies making sure that reasonably priced fiber to the home reaches every single one of their citizens for 30 or 40 bucks a month. America is laughed at in other countries. In South Korea, they treat coming to America like taking a rural vacation. Life is sweet and slow here because connectivity is so slow and so expensive. We believed 10 years ago that the magic of the marketplace would bring us universal, cheap connectivity. Instead, a few giant companies divided markets and consolidated. Here is the bottom line. Cable has won. When it comes to wired internet access at home, in the last 3 quarters of 2012, 0.2% of new subscriptions went to the telcos. Everything else went to the local cable monopoly. AT&T and Verizon, meanwhile, have backed off from wires entirely. They're concentrating wholly on the separate wireless marketplace, where they have enormous market power. We are stagnating. We have no plan for the future, no upgrade to fiber. We have the worst of both worlds, both no competition and no oversight. And Comcast and Time Warner Cable and Verizon and AT&T have the best of these worlds. They have a quiet life, which is the best monopoly profit there is. We need to recapture the regulatory ideal. That ideal is that regulation of infrastructure, government intervention, makes free markets and free speech possible. We used to know this. We understood it with highways, with transportation, with communications. Eisenhower, a Republican president, brought us the federal highway system. Our telephone system was the envy of the world when it was built. This regulatory ideal unleashes human ingenuity. It's pro-competition, pro-growth, pro-innovation. It makes it possible for anyone in America to create value. All media issues, all communications issues are secondary to this enormous question. We need infrastructure that serves the public interest that reaches every American. But the companies are going state by state. They're making sure that regulations requiring them to serve users are gutted. They're making sure that municipalities that want to do this for themselves are blocked. They're cynically taking our First Amendment values and using them to claim that their speech is more important than the speech of more than 300 million Americans. We are paying more for less, and we're leaving a lot of Americans behind. So listen up, listen to me. Tonight, we're at a crossroads. My name comes up in discussions about the FCC chair. I'm on lists. In the world we thought we grew up in, my name shouldn't be a problem, but it is. It's a problem. They have to worry about what the telecom industry would think of me. Mr. Obama got elected by 5 million votes. And why? Because he offered us a vision. He said, I need you to guide me. I'm not the Messiah. The president will say, make me do it. That's what LBJ said to Martin Luther King, make me do it. So make him rise to the mantle of leadership. This is a moment of crisis. It's also a moment of change, and it's a moment of opportunity. We are lucky. We have so many like-minded people here tonight, so many intelligent, competent people. And right now, Julius Genachowski has announced that he's leaving, and the president needs to decide. The president needs to decide what to do. He has to decide whether this issue is important. And these next 2 weeks are critical. They're making calculations about Congress. They're making calculations about the industry. But no army of industry lobbyists can withstand the strength of an idea whose time has come. High-speed internet access is not a left-right issue, let me tell you. Getting high-speed internet access right will affect everyone in our nation. And many people in other countries too, they're all watching us. This country is supposed to be the land of opportunity. Today, access to information is power. Internet access is like oxygen. It's necessary for life. But some people in America are breathing clean air, and others in our country are deprived. They don't even realize how deprived they are. We're harming school children. We're harming future generations. And we're sinking as a country. So let's call on the wisdom of the crowd, the consensus. We know that this has to change. We know we're right. And we have the dumb luck to be together tonight. This is the time. What's important is not what I say here tonight, but what we do tomorrow. We need to move as one, and tactics matter. We need to make demands. And these demands have to be of principles. Principles matter, not personalities, but principle. Principles have real power. We need to say we won't yield until these demands are adopted. Here are the 3 things we need to ask for. Mr. President, we need an FCC chairperson who will push to preempt the state laws that now raise barriers to municipally overseen fiber networks. Let them be built. Number 2, we need a chairperson who will set high standards. This leader needs to say that every American needs world-class internet access at a reasonable price. That standard should be 100 megabits per second symmetrical. I'll just say it. Let's start there. Make it fiber. We can upgrade like the rest of the world is. And third, we need a chairperson who will reclaim the regulatory ideal. High-speed internet access is our new general-purpose communications network, our replacement for the telephone. It needs to be treated that way. We need to make, that's number 3. We need to make the president do this, to make him do this. This is an American issue. There is not one group that this doesn't affect, not one person whose life won't be changed by this. We need to remind the president that it is government's role to stand up against the ethic that might makes right. Life is short, get in the way. Thank you very much.